Liquidity is a very important concept, and interestingly, it's something that most founders are usually quite disciplined about when it comes to businesses. They always have clarity on how much liquidity they need and where it sits. They don't look at liquidity as idle money. They look at it as a tool that protects the business when things don't go exactly as planned. What's interesting is that this same discipline is often not carried into personal finances. In personal life, liquidity tends to be taken for granted. Whenever I speak to business owners, especially high net worth individuals, about how little liquidity they have compared to their overall net worth, the response is usually, if the need arises, we'll get it from the business, or we can always sell an asset. So today, I want to talk to you about why having liquidity in your personal portfolio is important, especially in today's world. If the last few years have taught us anything, it's this: we are living in an increasingly interconnected world. A disruption in one part of the world can very quickly impact markets, businesses, and cash flows elsewhere. We saw this clearly during COVID, which brought the entire world to a standstill. Then we saw it during the Russia-Ukraine war, which led to supply chain disruption and sharp changes in prices across many parts of the world. Last year, we saw this with changes in US tariff, which affected businesses globally, including India. And more recently, we saw this in the Israel-Iran war, which has created energy shortage across the world, including India.
Oil continues to trade above $100 a barrel. Markets are still trading in the red, and the rupee continues to weaken.
All of this shows us one thing: we are living in a far more uncertain world than ever before. And in an uncertain world, while you cannot control external events like these, you can control how exposed your personal and business finances are to them. When disruptions like these happen, businesses get affected. Economic activities slow down, but what does not slow down are your daily living expenses and lifestyle expenses. And in the case of HNIs, these expenses are often significant. When I say this, people often respond with, "We can sell other assets if need be." What they forget is that many times, even gold, silver, and especially real estate, where a large part of personal wealth is often locked in, can see corrections, flat growth, or even become difficult to liquidate during such periods. Another reason business owners should consider having liquidity is because businesses can go through bad phases. We saw this recently with changes in US tariffs, which led to a major setback for several export-oriented industries. Sectors like textile, clothing, jewelry, leather, and other manufacturing businesses were impacted. And many of them were forced to shut down, or they went through a prolonged slowdown. In such phases, the businesses may not be in a position to support personal requirements. That's why having liquidity in personal portfolios is non-negotiable for business owners, especially HNIs, so that personal life can continue smoothly without putting unnecessary strain on the business. So now let's understand what I really mean when I talk about liquidity in a personal portfolio. Liquidity simply refers to the portion of your wealth that is easily accessible. It's money that you can use when you need it without having to sell your long-term investments and worrying too much about markets. It usually comes from assets that can be converted into cash with minimal time, effort, and loss in value. If you look at how corporates operate, most large businesses maintain a treasury. In a similar way, at a personal level, it's important to consciously maintain 15 to 20% of your net worth in liquid assets. And the key phrase is liquid assets and not just financial assets. Most people assume their financial assets are liquid assets. What they forget is that financial assets also comprise of equity products which cannot be liquidated at will as they are market linked. So don't make the mistake of assuming all your financial assets as liquid assets. The exact number of 15 or 20% may vary from person to person, but the idea is to ensure you have enough liquidity to support your lifestyle expenses, commitments, and personal obligations, even if the business is going through a difficult phase or markets are not supported. This brings me to the end of today's video. But I hope this one at least got you thinking about whether you have enough liquidity in your personal portfolio or not. If it did, do share it with a friend or family member who might be relying too much on their business or illiquid assets for personal finance. But before you go, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I will see you in the next one.